Hey guys, my name's Sam and I'm going to be talking about my internship at CSIRO. Now, CSIRO is the biggest scientific institution in Australia, and I was as part of CAS, which is CSIRO Astronomy and Space Science Department. I was part of the digital design team, so doing firmware for FPGAs, that's full programmable gate arrays. They're mostly used for the back end of ASCAP, ASCAP being the Australian Square Kilometre Array Pathfinder, which is an array of 36 22-metre dishes that all form an interferometer for looking at various space stuff. Pulsars, it's one of the world's most sensitive astronomical instruments. So that's cool. When I got there, I was originally going to do a comparison between the two main brands of FPGA, which is Xilinx and Altera. I was going to port from Xilinx, which they use, to an Altera platform and compare the differences. But decided pretty quickly that I was going to expand the scope of the project and design a platform-independent module for the back end. So the back end there's about, I can't remember exactly, but like 100 racks, all with about 10 FPGAs on each rack. And this is to control, to take data in from the satellites and to spit out the required data information in the right format. Because there's so much data coming in so quickly, you really need to reduce the data every clock cycle because you can't deal with that much data, you can't store it anymore. So in terms of how I got the internship, when I started thinking about it, I looked through the list that the Trobe provides. There's some great organisations there, but I thought everybody would go for those. And as well, I wanted the best internship possible, basically. So I started Googling and I had a thought about organisations that were really exciting to me. And there were lots of organisations that I didn't know about, so I spent a lot of time just going through what is actually available in Australia. But I've known about CSIRO since I did a workshop with them in grade 5, so I've always been impressed by them. I used to get Double Helix magazine. So I just looked on their website. Turns out they do a summer internship program every year. There's all these different projects all over the country, a bunch of which feature engineering stuff as well as all the different sciences. I applied in about 3 different states. And the Sydney one was my most interesting one because I'm into FPGAs, so I went up to that. For the different state entries, you had to pick 2 projects per entry. There were 2 robot-based ones in in Brisbane, 2 other ones that I can't quite remember in Tasmania, and 2 in FPGAs in Sydney. So I chose those projects and wrote a cover letter saying why I'm interested in that, saying why I have the skills. Once they hired me, they said that the reason they picked me because I seemed particularly passionate about digital design in a way that other applicants may not have been. So I guess, they're not looking for experts because everyone's undergrads, they're looking for people who are really passionate about the field. Because it's not really for them about getting as much work out of you as possible. It's about encouraging the next generation of scientists and engineers. So I sent that off, and it was in China with no internet. And I found out that I'd gotten no interview or anything, they just threw it to me, which was cool. So during my time there, I got to work on my own project from start to finish, where I was porting a FPGA module from an from a Xilinx platform to platform independence. And this potentially could go into ASCAP and be part of ASCAP, which is cool. I got to do the project myself, I got to come up with testing methodologies myself, I kind of, to some extent, got to define the scope of my project, so they gave me quite a lot of responsibility, which was cool. Also, I got to attend a lot of symposiums. I learned a whole lot of stuff about astronomy that I didn't know, and various antenna techniques. I got to travel up north to the Narrabri ATCA, which is the Australian Telescope Compact Array, and we got to observe an intergalactic mega maser, which was cool. Various meetings, staff parties, had a really good time. So my Trobe degree obviously helped me in a bunch of ways. Most obviously is the hard skills, like actually being able to code VHDL and understanding of FPGAs was, necessary for the job. But also more general technical skills in terms of thinking about things, logically breaking down problems, coming up with testing methodologies, thinking from both the systems perspective and then kind of zooming in and looking at the nitty-gritty. It's all stuff that I learned at the Trobe. Also the focus on communication, written and verbal communication, You know, these things always come up in any job you'll do. You need to be able to write, you need to be able to talk to people and explain your ideas and have a dialogue. So the main advice I would give in terms of doing an internship is it's a unique opportunity to get into a situation that you probably couldn't get as a new graduate, for instance. You can kind of skip some ranks, so to speak, and do a project in an area that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. So that's a really cool, unique opportunity, and that you only get to do it probably once. So make sure that you do it somewhere awesome. Also, the application's closed, possibly April or something. So, you know, do your research early.